This podcast is brought to you by absolutely no one. We have no sponsors and no one cares. Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Movie Mates podcast. I'm Matthew here with my wonderful co-host
Callum.
So today we're going to be talking about Avengers ENDGAME, which has just recently hit theaters across the world, and we've been really hyped for this movie, haven't we?
Yes, and we were at the midnight screening last night.
Yeah.
We're recording this Thursday morning, so we are very tired.
Very tired, but still hyped to talk about the movie. So essentially, go ahead.
I think we're going to do a few minutes of non-spoilers and then leap right into spoilers.
Yeah.
The movie will be out for a few days after we've recorded this, so I think it's fair game to talk spoilers.
Yeah, but we will give you a brief spoiler warning just before we talk about spoilers. Yeah. So do you want to take us through just brief what you thought of the movie without giving away any details?
Yeah, this movie's littered with spoilers, so we're going to have to talk in very broad generalisms about, like whether the characters were good. Like, that's very vague. I mean, in introduction, I hated it.
Let's expand upon that.
I can't really expand upon it until we talk spoilers because the things I hated about it aren't common knowledge yet.
Okay, well, if you're going to talk about generally, do you think it was well paced?
No, I do not whatsoever.
Not compared to Infinity War. Do you think it's not as well structured?
I think it's a structural mess. Yeah, the second act is like truly awfully paced. Like the structure is way off.
What about like visuals and like how visually impressive the film is compared to other MCU movies? Like Infinity War was quite a visually impressive film. Like it's quite a nice color palette, but this
the third act is hideous, isn't it?
Yeah, although like I get sort of, I mean I get why it doesn't have to be a visual masterpiece because the story makes up for it, but it's not as good. It's not as nice to look at as the Battle of Wakanda, I would say.
Yeah.
Personally.
I mean, I wish... Actually, I was going to say that. Let's leave it to spoilers.
Yeah. My personal thoughts on the movie is greatest superhero movie of all time for me. I'm probably just saying this because I've only just seen it. I have to rewatch it. But I honestly thought it was amazing. Like, I had said to Callum before about what I think would happen, and like everything I wanted to happen happened, which I was really happy with. But I mean, yeah, structurally it's probably not as well paced, and I don't know whether because I was tired I forgot parts of what happened, but yeah, some of it is quite forgettable at the start, but regardless...
I have a very structured list of what I want to talk about in spoilers, so I'm sure that'll jog your
in my opinion, the fact that the Russos can pull this off with so many characters and still make a film that, is going to get 90+% in Rotten Tomatoes, and regardless of, nitpicks or whatever, I think that regardless... this is going to be a financial and critical success, which is to be commended, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, for me, when you say, like, you look past the nitpicks, like, pretty much when you don't take into account the nitpicks, there's nothing left for me.
Yeah, that's fair enough. That's fair enough.
So, I mean, broadly, what did you think of the characters? It's very vague, but I don't want to go into
for those listening, I would say don't expect the characters that you think will have the most screen time to have the most screen time. Like, there are characters in this who have at least half an hour in Infinity War, who have about 10 minutes in this film. And it's a joke.
There is one particular character that we'll get into where they shouldn't have had any.
Yeah,
they should have been dusted.
There's a few surprises in there. Don't want to give anything away. A few surprising scenes, familiar scenes, stuff like that, which we'll touch in spoilers. But what did you think of, like, were you surprised by the movie in the wrong way, I guess?
I mean, I guess when things were happening, I wasn't surprised because you had theorized about them, but I was very sad as they were happening because I was like, oh, Matthew said that, and I said I would hate that if that happened, and it has. Yeah,
I don't know whether, like, if it was just a fluke that we had theorized over so many things that could happen that happened, or whether it's just quite a predictable film, but... regardless of that, I personally loved it. I thought it was an absolute masterpiece, like visually and structurally and stuff. I thought it was great. If you were to give your concluding thoughts for the non-spoiler section, rating out of 10 and so on.
Well, I mean, I'm just like I probably sound broken, and let's be honest, I am. Like, this has probably been. I hadn't watched a single trailer for this. I had seen maybe 10 seconds of footage, so I had no expectations, but it still managed to fail, like to meet my non-existent expectations. I mean, usually when I see a film, I see it a second time and I like it more. Like, cause usually I like it less. Usually I, leave the cinema on a high and then my thoughts decrease after multiple viewings. But with this, like, if my thoughts get worse, it'll just like
It'll not even be a movie.
It won't even. Well, I think it barely is a movie. It's, it's the same per structure of Infinity War, where it's, action sequences tied together with jokes. I think this is a slightly better narrative than Infinity War.
It's a lot more like, for those who are listening, like, I expected sort of a depressing film, but it's very much of a comedy in a way. It's obviously not a comedy, but there are characters who are, just like the only lines are jokes, which is good, which I and the jokes are good. But for me, as I said, I loved it. Favorite film in the MCU, best film in the MCU for me, 10 out of 10. I honestly loved it so much. Honestly,
I will say, individual scenes are excellent. I think if you if you just went on YouTube and watched individual scenes, you would go, this is excellent, this is excellent, this is excellent.
Yeah.
But when put together, and when you consider its consequences for the future of the MCU, that's what I hate.
Yeah.
So I'd probably give it a 5 at this moment.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair enough. So at this point, guys, this will be a spoiler. Spoilers from now on.
I might just say, like, maybe in a year or two we'll have a reflection where we do.
I think our opinions will
episode.
change. Yeah.
Because maybe I'll really regret this review where I've just absolutely slated it, and I'll want to talk about the positives. Maybe.
Yeah. So at this point, it's gonna be spoilers. So we're gonna be
full
spoilers. Yeah. So we're discussing characters, stuff like that. So Callum, do you want to take us away with the notes you have, buddy?
I've written a lot. So do you want to? I've been thinking quite chronologically. So I've split into characters, jokes, fan service, cameos, final act, and yeah. So thinking chronologically, what did you think of the Hawkeye opening?
Hawkeye opening it reminded me of sort of a horror film in a way, because sort of turns around and just there's no one there.
Yeah.
And it also sort of depicted like the grandeur of what happened. Like, he's just like alone in the countryside, whereas like around him the whole world's just an absolute anarchy.
Yeah.
Like, it's pretty, like, it feels really post-apocalyptic, and it's nice to see Clint Barton and stuff and his family again. It's all played by the same kids and stuff and whatever. And yeah, I mean, I thought they were gonna say, her name's Kate or something, and like.
No, I did as well. Yeah.
But they didn't do that. What do you think of Hawkeye's family?
That was probably one of my favorite scenes in the film, actually. I agree. It did feel like kind of a horror film, and yeah, I really appreciated that. I was surprised by. Again, it is a weird structure because I love Hawkeye, but it is weird to open, like, one of the biggest films ever with a Hawkeye scene. And we'll talk about the end scene, like the very last shot of the film is also weird. We'll talk about it when we get to that.
Yeah, I mean, I think they give it the opening scene because he had nothing to do. It wasn't even in Infinity War, but
no, I wish he had been, because I love Hawkeye.
Like, I probably gonna have to rewatch this, but I think what really aids the horror aspect is because it has no musical score in the background. Like, it's just silence.
Yeah.
It's like his family are dusted.
He just has a smile on his face, and then they're just gone.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so sad.
Oh, it is.
I mean, while we're on Hawkeye, do you want to talk about Ronan?
Yeah, obviously, were you aware of Ronan before? Like, did you know?
I was aware that was the character he was kind of portraying.
I quite liked him. Yeah, I mean,
haircut.
Not as bad as in promotional art. It's actually grown on me a little bit.
I mean, I hadn't seen the trailer, so I hadn't seen the hair, but I heard it was awful.
It's okay.
When people say the mohawk went all the way down, I was picturing like a rat tail.
Yeah.
But it looked fine.
No, like, Hawkeye is like given the most important scenes in the movie. I don't want to say important scenes because he is because.
I mean, of all 6, of the main 6, he's probably the third most important, which you really wouldn't expect from Hawkeye.
Yeah.
Even.
Oh, like Thor is way down that list?
No, I'd say it's probably like Iron Man, Captain America, Hawkeye.
Yeah.
I think he's probably like in the like the higher end of the characters in the film.
I mean, I like Rodan's costume. It pays homage to the comics and stuff, but other than that, they didn't really have much to do in the end battle apart from hold the gauntlet.
Yeah.
Really.
Well, I mean, that's an important job, I suppose.
Yeah. Next up.
I have written down Thanos in a t-shirt.
Yeah.
When they reach Thanos's garden planet, and he's just retired, and I thought at first he was wearing like a Hawaiian shirt, and I really wish he was.
That would have been great.
But I really like that.
For those who have seen the movie, like, you know the way in Endgame his face is like he has like a two-face going on, like it's half charred on this side and it's fine.
In Endgame?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could have swore his face was not like that in Infinity War.
No, that was from using the
stones
using
to destroy
again. To destroy the stones.
Okay.
Like
yeah, I quite like
really
that. Like,
messed up his face.
It made sense. Like, and I quite like that scene. Yeah.
I really liked the swiftness of his death, because I thought like, oh, they've created fake footage for the trailers where he's in his suit of armor, and I was so happy when he died, and then so disappointed when he returned.
Did you think, oh, they've killed him, they're gonna have another big bad or something? Or
yeah, I was like, finally, they've done something, surprising. Like, they've actually killed Thanos in the first 15 minutes of the film.
Yeah.
But then no.
Yeah, the film like is quite a quick start, and then it's sort of
as soon as they do the time jump, it becomes a different film completely.
Yeah. Although I preferred that film. Like, literally, I've said to Callum before, they're gonna fight Thanos, they're gonna lose, gonna be a 5-year time jump, and then we'll get into it.
I expected the 5-year time jump, but I didn't expect a lot of the things that happened after the time jump, and we will get onto that. How did you feel about Captain Marvel saving Iron Man?
I mean, I would have preferred if it was recalled back to Iron Man 1, where he builds himself a suit of armor or something, or fixes the ship. Yeah.
I mean, a lot of this movie is, recreating old scenes, so I don't know why they didn't at least,
like they're
make it, like familiar with a similar setup.
I would say there are at least like 10 lines that are just other lines from the MCU. You know, like callback, which I appreciate.
I always appreciate a callback, yeah.
Like the scene where Tony and Nebula are in space is probably one of the saddest scenes in the movie.
It was sad.
Like, he is thin. Like,
again, I was hoping Tony was if Tony had died in that moment, it would have been. I mean, I would probably preferred that to how they did kill him in the end. If he had just died of, like, if there had just been, nothing to do, to stop that from happening, I think that would have been a lot better.
Yeah, I mean, we'll get into his death later, but it was my favourite scene in the MCU, 100%.
Which one?
I Am Iron Man, but
Matthew.
Honestly,
that was shit.
Favourite scene in the MCU, I'm telling you. I choked up, man. I choked up.
And I was... Oh, yeah, we'll get on to it.
Okay, what do you have next?
I want to talk Fat Thor.
Yeah.
I really like New Asgard. It seemed like a really nice place to live.
It reminded me of Aquaman's home place in Justice League in a way. Do you know where he's like on the harbour and stuff? Yeah.
I find it really weird that like every time we see Thor, he gets dumber. Because in Ragnarok he was funny, but it seemed like in this film he was the joke. They're like I don't understand how Thor goes from being like disappointed in himself to like fat and drunk. It didn't seem like the same character to me.
Although I think
I think the Russos have just got him wrong.
I'm not gonna lie, I thought the fat joke was like he was gonna get a bolt of lightning and have abs again.
No, same.
But then he's literally just fat, for the whole movie.
I think by after the first scene, the joke had run its course. I mean, I found like the Korg like
this guy's calling me a dickhead again.
Yeah, that was so good. And then I thought pretty much after that scene the joke had run its course.
No, I love New Asgard. I think that's a really good idea.
Yeah.
Thor probably has another sad scene in the movie where he meets his mum. I think that's a really good scene, but like fantastic. Although, I don't know, Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a very different portrayal of Thor than we've seen in his solo movies. Like,
Yeah.
it's straight, and Infinity War, like, it feels like a different character.
Yeah. Were you surprised to see Jane Foster back?
Is that, like, yeah?
Like that's new footage, so
Mm.
Natalie Portman must have actually shot a new scene.
Yeah, like, that was surprising. Like, should we give it, like, a plot of what happens so that people know what we're talking about? Or...
I think if they're listening to spoilers, they've seen the film.
Yeah, like,
So
yeah,
I don't know if that's necessary.
Yeah, Thor, I like him.
Yeah.
I liked him.
Do you want to move on to Professor Hulk?
Bruce.
Again, Matthew, audio medium. I've written in my loose notes gang sign Bruce.
Yeah.
You know, that was probably one of my favorite moments in the film. Like that's another thing where I'm like, you know, individual characters or individual scenes are excellent, but then when you put them all together and then think of their implications for the universe, it becomes terrible.
This film's a 10 out of 10 favorite superhero film. Although they get the Hulk character really wrong. I'm sorry. It's just not Hulk.
It's not your Hulk, but it's definitely, this is my favorite portrayal of Hulk.
Really?
Yeah, 100%. Because I've never liked the Hulk, and this is the first time where I have liked it. I did not expect to like hearing Mark Ruffalo's voice come out of the Hulk's face, but I think they did well with the CGI.
Yeah, because it's more Banner.
I mean, it looks a bit rubbery, but you can see Mark Ruffalo through it, and I like that.
Yeah, like I mean, I got used to Professor Hulk and I quite liked him, but I think they get the character really wrong. Like, especially when they go back to the Avengers and you see new scenes with Hulk. By the way, that Hulk looks really strange now.
Which one?
The Avengers one, where they showed new footage, not new footage, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's new footage. But like, I mean, I preferred the Avengers Hulk just because it was more comic accurate. But I suppose Professor Hulk, like, there are things I love about Professor Hulk. Like, I mean, he has important scenes in the movie. You know, he's you know, comedic as well. You know.
Yeah, we should talk about him using the Infinity Gauntlet, because me and you both agreed what we would really dislike if there was a reverse snap, which is what happened, and it was Hulk that did that.
See, the only thing that like I could forgive the reverse snap for was because it allowed Cap to go back in time. That's the only exception for me.
We'll talk about that, but like we both were confused why Thanos, just being a big old alien, is able to hold the Infinity Stones, because really it should only be like a being of celestial power able to hold them, but Hulk is able to.
Yeah, but then it takes a toll on him because his arms is just wrecked.
Yeah.
But then I don't know if they're just gonna say he is a healing factor now or something.
Probably, I would say so.
But no, I there are things with Professor Hulk Hulk that I was expecting. I was expecting like when Black Widow died, he would have hulked out. If you know what I mean. Do you know when like he gets the news of like
lost the banner part?
Yeah.
I guess
like
that wouldn't have been.
It just seemed like a really unnecessary character reaction when he throws a bench. Like he should have like become Wallbreaker Hulk or something at that point if he loves Black Widow or something. You know, but. No, that romance doesn't really go anywhere, in my opinion. Although, I mean, I like what they did with the character. It's fresh, it's new, and it's, you know, from the comics.
Yeah. Okay, while we're on characters, do you want to talk about... I've written weird hair, because...
Take us through that. Yeah.
Captain Marvel and Black Widow both get new do's after the 5 years.
Love them both. Captain Marvel's haircut is fantastic. Yeah.
I think it looks awful, because it's clearly CGI, because Brie Larson didn't cut her hair. So
I think it's
So
great.
that's clearly CGI, and it looks real bad. Do you want to pause the podcast for McDonald's?
Yeah.
Don't leave that in.
How do I pause it? This is gonna be hilarious if we keep it that. I know that.
I don't know, Matthew. You're the text. I don't know.
Hello? Oh yeah, that's it. Okay. So
we're back.
We're back.
I believe we were on weird hair.
Yeah.
It looks so bad on both of them.
Widows.
I really don't like Captain Marvel's hair, but even worse is Black Widow's, because I like her blonde hair, I like her ginger hair. I don't like a mix of the two.
Although they do bring back her original
so
Avengers haircut, which is nice.
Well, in the time travel scene.
Yeah.
But
no, I think hair. Yeah, Thor is back to long hair again.
I don't like that either.
Although when he sort of gets Stormbreaker, like he gets like a weird plait in his beard.
Yeah,
Did you notice that? That was strange.
Notice that.
But yeah, I mean, I really like Captain Marvel's hair. Like I way much prefer it than her. Like her normal hair is really nice, but I prefer.
Really?
Yeah, I prefer her hair.
Okay, do you want to talk Captain Marvel?
Yeah, you work ahead.
I find her insufferable.
Elaborate, please.
Well, I was so happy when she left in the first act because I was like, oh wow, because there were a few instances in the movie where I was like, wow, they have subverted my expectations, and then by the end it was like, nope. It's like Thanos has said, nope. Captain Marvel isn't actually gonna be a big character. Nope. You know.
At least she didn't.
We'll talk about her more in the end fight scene. Her return, but I was so happy when she left, and I was really hoping that she was staying gone.
I'm one of those few people who really likes Brie Larson and really likes the character. But I also like obviously RDJ and Chris Evans and whatever. But like, I was surprised that she didn't have more screen time, but also happy that she didn't steal the show because I think other characters deserved it more.
But like I found her delightful in her own solo film. I don't like Brie Larson whatsoever, but you know I liked Captain Marvel the film, but this version was so much more arrogant.
You think?
Yeah,
I mean,
really
I suppose that's
her.
because she's more of an experienced hero as well. Should agree.
Like you should decrease your arrogance, but no, I really.
I mean, I don't like her new suit at all.
Her new suit is horrendous.
But I really like her haircut. Yeah, I mean, she has a good moment at the end where she like beats up Thanos a bit and then allows Iron Man to go and snatch the gauntlet. But
do you want to talk Iron Man?
Yeah, favorite character in the movie. Do you
really?
know, like for you though, did it make you like him a bit more? Because I know you've had a strained sort of opinion on him.
Yeah, I've disliked Iron Man. I didn't like him in the first 10 minutes or so of the film. We both said how good like his emaciated look.
Oh no,
it was upsetting to look at.
And I
think that's good because that was clearly.
He looked like such a frail old man though, because his head was so enlarged, because his body was so tiny.
That was so odd, but it did change my opinion of Iron Man because it was really nice to see him as a dad.
Yeah, I didn't expect that. I really liked that.
I expected him as a dad, but I was kind of like, mate, you're like 55 years old, you know?
Yeah, I mean, one thing I really was not, I don't want to say disappointed because it wasn't a thing I was a big thing that I was counting on. Steve and Tony's reunion was real bad. I thought really bad.
Yeah, they don't.
It was just like it was just like they argue again.
Yeah, it's just Iron Man being a prick again.
No, but I understand why because he's just hopeless and stuff. But like you know the bit where I suppose we can segue to talk about them going back to the 70s. Favorite, I love that as well. One of my favorite scenes in the movie.
I mean, we'll get into time travel in a few minutes, but I hated it. Obviously.
The scene where he meets his dad is great, and obviously when Steve is creeping on Peggy from a window.
Gross, yeah.
Love it.
I liked de-aged Michael Douglas.
And Howard Stark. Was that I guess like makeup, or do you think he's de-aged for that?
I think they were both de-aged. I think John Slaughter was de-aged. I mean, he is an older gentleman.
Yeah.
So I would be surprised if he isn't. So you liked the 70s scene?
Yeah, I love the 70s scene. Stan Lee has his final cameo, which I liked. I thought it was good.
Another de-aging.
And also, it was very fitting.
Yeah.
You know, spread love, not war.
Yeah.
It was quite fitting for Stan, you know.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, I think Iron Man... I don't know between him and Cap who's the most screen time or who's meant to be the most important character. Probably Cap.
I think Cap is probably more important, yeah.
But then Iron Man's probably has the best scene for me. Like his death scene is incredible. I thought
it's meant to be poignant, but it fell completely flat for me. Do you want to talk Ant-Man? And then we can.
Yeah.
I have some notes on Ant-Man.
I just want to say before we finish on Iron Man.
Yeah.
Funeral was nice to see all the characters back. Harley as well.
We'll get into more specifics when we talk third act.
And scenes and stuff. Yeah, okay, that's fine.
So, what do you think of Ant-Man?
I mean, this is probably the film where I liked him the least, and where
Really?
Paul Rudd was not as funny.
Yeah, they don't give him many jokes. It's kind of just like he dropped his taco. Oh no.
There's not much Giant Man. I was disappointed with.
No, yeah.
But apart from that, loved him. I love Paul Rudd. I think he's a national treasure.
Yeah. You brought up like technically the universe was saved by a rat.
Yeah, I mean I get why they had to do that because no one else was going to save him. But I was very surprised by the fact that there are people still working. You know, like the security guy still is like maintaining.
Well, I guess only half of the universe died.
I would say no, but if they wiped out half the universe, though, like civilization would just collapse.
Yeah, I think it would, and they didn't. I don't think they did enough in this movie showing how society had changed, because like it still seemed like people were still going about their day.
And then Joe Russo is a fantastic cameo, by the way. I really liked it.
I didn't know.
Is he actually?
I don't think he's gay.
Not in real life.
No, I don't think so. I mean, he may well be, but not to my knowledge. I liked how I think more than anyone, he portrayed, like, Ant-Man portrayed that he cared about who he lost. Because I think Captain America spent so long getting Bucky back, and he never mentions Bucky's name.
Can I just say,
until he tricks his past self.
That Bucky and him it's not really brought up again.
No, it's never. And then, but Ant-Man, I felt like he really missed Wasp.
The scene where like he reunites with an older Cassie Lang is really emotional, I thought.
Yeah.
On the subject,
I love the memorial scene where he was.
It was like a horror film as well, wasn't it?
Where he was like looking for Cassie's name.
I'm sure there were so many like subtle Easter eggs there as to names. I saw that Louise was one. I think.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I was kind of looking out, but it was quite fast paced. So I didn't get to look at many names.
Yeah. On the subject of that, like, what character do you think had changed the most in the 5 years? Like, in a way.
Well, I suppose Iron Man, because he had gone from kind of a selfish prick to a dad, and he seemed to really take to the dad life.
Yeah, I love you 3000.
Tearjerker, yeah. Was there anything else you had to say about Ant-Man?
I mean, not really. I mean, Ant-Man's probably the Pym particles have a pretty big role in it, actually. Surprisingly.
Yeah, I mean, I just like we can go into time travel in just a couple of minutes. I just want to talk.
Go ahead.
War Machine. His suits keep getting bigger.
Yeah,
and
but
worse
this is the film I love him the most in. I think Don Cheadle's great.
Yeah, I mean, usually he has nothing to do, so I can't really form an opinion. But he seemed relatively likable in this film.
I like his suit, but it changes it changes scene to scene.
Yeah.
But no, I like Don Cheadle. I mean, he serves his purpose there.
Yeah. I don't have many thoughts on him. Nebula as a main character.
Nebula probably has the third or second most screen time in the movie.
She has so much screen time, and
which I understand.
She's the worst character in the film.
You think?
In my opinion, yeah, because she's one dimensional and boring. I couldn't care less about her.
But do you not think the paradigm between old and future Nebula or old and present Nebula is quite interesting though?
No.
How much she's changed.
No, I don't care.
One sort of, this is probably going to be nitpicking, but as I say, 10 out of 10 masterpiece. I can survive the nitpicks.
Yeah, no.
When Nebula shoots her past self, she should die.
I think she did.
I don't think she did.
No,
I think she's there in the map.
I don't think she is.
You don't think so?
Because I was thinking, that doesn't seem like very many people on the ship, because obviously Gamora isn't there, and I'm pretty sure Nebula wasn't. I mean, we only saw it last night, so my memories are a bit scattered.
Hazy, no, Nebula has a lot to do.
Yeah, unfortunately.
I like the element that it's not exactly secret invasion, but I like the way she infiltrates the Avengers. Is the Nebula who's with the Avengers the whole time like evil Nebula in disguise? While the present Nebula is imprisoned by Thanos. Like, the way.
Yeah, like when they return from the time travel. That's the 2014 Nebula.
I love that.
But like you could tell because she had both arms.
Yeah.
Yeah. But do you want to launch into time travel?
Yeah. I mean, I said to Callum before, like, I really wanted to see time travel. Like, I said to him specifically, like, a Days of Future Past time travel, which happened.
Yeah.
I loved it.
And I said I would hate that.
You have no idea how much I loved going, like, seeing different alternate views of the Battle of New York, especially. Like, that was incredible, I thought. America's ass.
Oh, that was the weirdest joke in the film.
That was so strange. I was 100%. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I was 100% sure they're gonna do Stucky here. They're gonna do it.
I was so
because they were teasing it the whole time. Like just like Cap's got a great ass, guys. Don't forget. Like, but they didn't do.
Bucky loves that.
Bucky loves that.
Yeah, but yeah, I liked the time travel, except that this was where I was talking about like the terrible structure, because you see Hulk talking to the Ancient One, and then you don't see him again for like 25-30 minutes. There were so many characters in too many locations.
Did not appreciate though seeing other characters return, like from old movies. Like we got Robert Redford back, we got Ancient One, we got Portman.
I mean, I suppose, but I mean, they did end up getting all 6 of the Infinity Stones, so I would have preferred, like, if the plot had just allowed them to all go as a big team into the 3 time periods.
I personally loved that element, although...
You liked them splitting up?
I love that, yeah.
I didn't, because it led to, having to cut, like, back and forth, and it was a structural mess.
My least favourite moment of the film is the montage where they're, like, discussing a plan to get the Infinity Stones. It's literally just them sitting about, and, like, I didn't like that. But apart from that,
we'll get on to my least favourite moment.
The time travel, I think that's the best I've ever seen time travel done. Personally, really? I loved it so much.
It was awful. Because it made even less sense than, like, on The Flash, and I can forgive The Flash because, like, it doesn't mean that much to me. Like, it probably seems like I'm shitting on the MCU because I don't like it. But
you do like it?
It's because I love the MCU so much, and I just feel so disappointed by it.
What about, do you like the way it subverts the scene from The Winter Soldier where he gets into the elevator?
I was gonna say, I did think that they were going for the scene recreation, and then...
That was amazing.
I like that.
Yeah.
Like that ties into where I was saying, I liked it. I really loved individual scenes. Like, I loved that.
You can definitely tell the Russos are a fan of the Avengers, but do you think, this, from my personal opinion, this doesn't happen, but do you think that their love for the Avengers really messes up their art for directing? Like, do you think it just messes up, like, they're trying to get in cool scenes but then it's just a mishmash of nonsense?
Yeah, I mean, I suppose because, like, Infinity War and Avengers Assemble have very different visual styles, but then they have to adhere to the visual style of Avengers Assemble for the Avengers past scenes. Mm-hmm. So the like visual style and the color palette like kind of awkwardly shift scene to scene.
Yeah, I personally loved the Cap versus Cap. Loved that.
You did?
Yeah, I love the bit where we've mentioned the 70s.
It seems like Cap should have been able to beat his younger self.
Why?
He should be a better fighter than his 2012 self.
The costume, like,
it looks better.
I don't think the cap's the same. I think, like, the mask was different.
It was a different color. It was darker.
It actually looks okay.
Well, it looks better certainly because it wasn't like bright blue.
Yeah.
It was like kind of more toned down. Did you like seeing the Winter Soldier stealth suit again?
For all it's in it, yeah.
I mean, it was in for like 30 seconds. Did you like it?
I don't really have an opinion on it. It's a nice suit, but I prefer the suit that he has by the end.
Yeah, I suppose. I did not like his suit by the end. No. Do you want to talk fan service?
There's so much.
There's so much. Well, there's
the most obvious one I can think of is I Am Iron Man.
Yeah, there's that, and you obviously loved that. I thought it was cheesy and terrible.
I loved it so much.
I know, it's just like
best scene I've ever like, one of the best scenes I've ever watched.
Like, me and Matthew were sat next to each other in the cinema. Did you hear me like audibly like exasperated?
I did not. No.
You didn't.
There
were a couple times where I was just like,
yeah. No.
Well, I think it was like the couple things that you predicted. Like when Cap was sent back in time, I like looked at you.
What about Mjolnir? What left of Mjolnir? As good as you were expecting?
I mean, I didn't hate that as much. I did, I suppose it was all right. In that sense, I'm glad that he isn't continuing as Captain America, because then I would have just been like, oh well, you're using your shield. Why aren't you using Thor's hammer? So
I think the bit where they all assemble like Asgardians, Wakandans, or whatever. That felt like the ending of the Earth's Mightiest Heroes episode.
I mean,
that's why I loved
it. Looks like total dog shit, doesn't it?
With the surrounding of the HQ and stuff.
It's another big grey battle with like. I mean, there's a lot of people that say like the MCU is great, but it is ugly. Like they're poorly shot and it's always dark. And I agree with that in this film especially.
I love the time travel bit to New York so much. I can't get away. I loved it.
I hate it so much.
There's just a smile on my face throughout the whole movie.
There was one piece of fan service that literally gave me chills, and that was when Cap said Avengers Assemble. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't really make sense because they were assembled. He should have said like Avengers Attack, but I enjoyed it.
There was one moment in the film where I think was such a wasted opportunity. In fact, it was such a wasted opportunity. I realised because they were playing the exact same score as when it happened in the first Avenger. It was when Falcon asked, "Who's do you want to tell me about this special lady?" Cap should have said, "Well, we had a date" or something.
Yeah,
but he said, good. "No, I don't think I want to." It's like that dumb.
We'll go back to it.
You have no idea how mad I was at that. Do you not think a far better line would be, "Well, we had a date or something. That
would have been way better. But I just have it down in my notes to talk about cameos. We have for the most part, but I just wanted to mention Edwin Jarvis.
Yeah, you mentioned. Yeah.
That is the first TV character, to my knowledge, to appear in film.
You like it?
I really liked it because that actor's amazing. But he should have been much older because it was 1970, and in 1945 he's about 40, so he should have been, you know, like in a wheelchair, like you know, he should have been like not able to drive.
Yeah.
He should have been, you know, in his 70s or something. But whatever.
Red Skull's back again. Good.
Yeah. I felt weird because, like, you know, Natasha's meant to be, you know, a SHIELD agent. She should know who the Red Skull is, but
so should Clint, but he's like red floaty guy.
Yeah, neither of them had a reaction. Like I thought they were gonna like subvert the Thanos meeting him scene and just have like Hawkeye and Widow like beating the shit out of him. I thought they were gonna roll up, see the Red Skull, and then just like start like kicking him in the head.
Yeah. I 100% thought they were gonna go like you know, Cap has to go to Vormir or something.
Yeah.
Would you not rather have had that?
Well, we didn't talk Black Widow's death. How did you feel about that?
I mean, personally, because I'm not attached to either Hawkeye or Black Widow as characters, I was like, this could be a bit shorter.
Yeah.
But it was emotional.
Hawkeye was probably my favorite character in the film, so I think I would have been like slightly devastated if he had died, which I mean would have been good in a way because, you know, they're meant to hit you emotionally, but I'm glad that he stayed alive. But although you're meant to sacrifice the thing you love most, but like Widow just killed herself. That's not really him sacrificing something he loves, is it?
Yeah.
If she throws herself off the cliff.
Although, no, I think. I mean, they could always bring Red Skull back as well.
I suppose.
And Widow for her prequel movie or whatever, if that's a thing.
Ugh. Do you see how the time travel creates so many problems?
I do.
Well, we'll talk about it in our like kind of ending thoughts. Did you want to talk end battle?
I'm trying to think. Well, I mean, it sort of starts with a Hulk snap, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Liked that, loved it. Avengers HQ gets blown up. I liked it. Yeah.
I mean, what did you think of the Captain Marvel Deus Ex Machina?
I mean,
I hated that because
she doesn't have much to do. Though. I can forgive it.
Carol, you've been in one film. You don't get to destroy everything. I do feel like Brie Larson kind of has like an inflated sense of self after Kevin Feige told her she was the strongest Avenger. You know, she just thinks that she can like destroy anything, and it was a hard pill to swallow seeing her with her dumb hair and her stupid outfit and just destroying like the whole Thanos fleet.
One of my favourite scenes in the movie is probably when it's just Cap and Thanos. I 100% thought he was going to say the line like, as long as one man stands against you, you'll never be able to claim victory, because that's a line from the Infinity War comic.
Is it?
But then,
is that right before Thanos like breaks his shield in that?
Yeah. Because I thought that would have been perfect.
I mean, that would have fit it better, I think.
But then I like the way it's just like Cap's only Avenger left, and then he turns around and he doesn't turn around, and then they're all there. I thought it was fantastic.
What did you think of the forced female team up shot?
I get why it had to happen on fan service as well, and I love all those characters. Especially like Mantis is one of my favorite heroes in the MCU.
I really like Mantis actually.
However, it did feel forced, I suppose. But I understood what happened. You know, I love all the characters. I liked it.
I don't love all the characters, and I felt like it kind of, you know, it kind of had the subtext that like Spider-Man was a misogynist, like because he didn't. Yeah, because it kind of had him, like, you know, disbelieving Captain Marvel being able to, like, get past Thanos and, you know, get the Infinity Gauntlet to Ant-Man and Wasp, but then she's
if they were suggesting that, it wasn't intentional.
No, I have my other women, and I was like, oh, okay. I mean, you just made Spider-Man kind of look like a dickhead.
I don't think that was intentional, though.
I don't know. I mean, you just made Spider-Man kind of look like a dickhead. I don't know.
End battle, what else?
Well,
I mean,
I still don't understand what Ant-Man and Wasp are doing in the van, because they're
trying to hotwire.
No, like they were trying to use the time travel device to send Thanos back to 2014, but then Tony just ended up dusting him. You know, I suppose we can go on to Iron Man now.
Do you think Iron Man's snap? Do you think it'll have wider implications, as in like he wiped out more than just Thanos and his fleet? Like, do you think he could have wiped out like other villains that he's encountered or something, just in case?
No, I think he just. I think they're done with this storyline. I think he just wiped out Thanos. But if he wiped out the 24... this film's so painful for my brain, because if he wiped out the 2014 Thanos... no, I can't do it.
If you wiped out the 2014 Thanos, you're never gonna have the end battle to wipe him out anyway.
I mean, I suppose that battle still happens, but their memories of the 2018 Thanos should go away.
Did you not love that, like, though?
I didn't love anything about the film, but sure, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, like, did you not love the fact that, like, Iron Man has the final, like...
No, because I don't like Iron Man. I don't like Iron Man. Like, if anyone had to, I would have preferred it if they... Because, I mean, you can't give Captain America the snap and Mjolnir, so I would have rather he used the Infinity Gauntlet but didn't get Thor's hammer.
I find it strange the way Thanos is a huge alien who is shown to be not as... the Hulk is shown to be stronger than. I think we can agree, even though he got beat up.
I suppose.
Thor with two
hammers,
Cap yeah. With super soldier serum, and Iron Man with the most powerful armor he has cannot beat him.
Yeah, I mean, like, if his you know, what are they called? Are they called the Outriders, the army? Outriders.
See, like, when I saw that, I was just like...
Yeah, if they had been, like, you know, like, piling on top of the three heroes while they were trying to fight Thanos, that would be understandable. But, I mean, if Thor was able to just kill Thanos himself in the first 10 minutes of the film, why wasn't he able to do it again?
I like the fact that Thanos has very little screen time.
I didn't, because I'm like, well, I would have liked him to have a small amount of screen time and then another villain to have more screen time. But if you're gonna make him the main villain, like, have him have some screen time. I thought Josh Brolin's performance was a lot worse in this one.
Really?
Yeah. Like, he seemed a lot less dynamic. I don't know. I kind of looked at his face and I was like, that could be anyone. Like, I'm not even sure that... Like, it doesn't even look like Josh Brolin to me. Like, you know, the other times, like, you look at him and you go, that looks like Josh Brolin, but I didn't have that this time. So do you want to talk about Iron Man's death scene? I know you loved it.
I loved it. Yeah, I thought it was fantastic. The only thing I would have wished is that, actually no, another moment from the end battle, which is quite subtle and moving, was when he hugged Peter. I thought that was a nice homage.
I liked how he actually cared about Peter, because you know, his kind of emotional motivation for going forward with the time travel was looking at the picture of him and Peter, which
I thought that was really
like
moving.
I obviously love Spider-Man, so I was like glad I was glad that Iron Man appreciated his relationship with Peter.
Yeah. Iron Man's death scene, I thought it was fantastic. Like, I loved it. However, the only thing I wish his final interaction would be with Cap, because they don't get this, like, Cap's not even in the death scene.
Rather than Pepper Potts, who just like showed up in an Iron Man suit.
I quite liked that.
I didn't.
I'd seen that from. Did you see it? Like,
no,
I was aware of that before.
Oh no, yeah, I saw there was a set image of Gwyneth Paltrow in an Iron Man suit. I completely forgot about that though.
Yeah, Iron Man's death scene. Yeah, we've covered it, I guess, haven't we?
Yeah,
funeral was
great.
That
I Am Iron Man was really cheesy.
I loved it so much. I thought he was gonna say I am invincible, but he said
no. I thought he was gonna say I am inevitable, because like the callback to Thanos.
Yeah, I know. I was delighted with it. I loved it.
Yeah, I guess we can talk the funeral. So you liked it?
Are you hungry? I want some cheeseburgers.
No, I cried at that scene, but I think it's just because I love Jon Favreau so much. Yeah. And no, like when he said your dad liked cheeseburgers, I did kind of have an emotional breakdown, because like
from Iron Man 1.
I love Iron Man 1. It's such a... I don't like Iron Man in subsequent films, but in Iron Man 1 I love that character, and I love Jon Favreau so much. And I just his interaction and thinking, oh, that's Tony's daughter. That struck an emotional chord with me.
I was hoping that, like,
more than anything in the film.
I was hoping there would have been like a flashback to Yinsen or something.
I'm glad they didn't. Flashback to Yinsen. I couldn't care less about Yinsen.
Ivan.
What?
Borg.
Oh yes.
But funeral was fantastic. I thought really well done.
Yeah.
Although, one thing I did laugh at was the way the characters were sort of like. It was almost told as if they were told, like, stand over there, we'll make a cool shot of you.
Yeah, no, it's like
they're all they're all over the farm.
Yeah, like Captain Marvel's like standing at the door. I was like, no one cares. Like, just leave, Carol.
No, I didn't.
Have you met Iron Man? No.
I just loved. I love the proof Tony Stark has a heart. That was fantastic.
Yeah, I suppose that was a good callback. I was surprised that they left Vision, Black Widow, and Gamora still dead.
Vision shouldn't be though.
No, because. I mean, they just brought the dusted people back to the present, but Vision had been killed before the snap. So I think anyone killed before the snap stayed dead. So he's dead. But that kind of confuses me about the TV show about WandaVision.
Maybe it's fake. Maybe it's fake.
I don't know. It might be set during their like Edinburgh days, in 2017, 2018.
I'd like that.
Yeah, that'd be good enough. If it's just, I'd kind of like it if they just don't even show him in his Vision form. If it's just like a rom-com. with Paul Bettany.
I don't even want to. I wouldn't even care for any action. Just a
honestly, if it was just like a 40-minute 40-minute an episode like romance TV show, I would actually love that. But I mean, I usually don't care about prequels if I know the characters are dead. So if I'm just like, okay, this is a prequel set a year ago and I know Vision's dead right now, who cares? I kind of be like, this is inconsequential to me.
I like the way they found a way to bring Gamora back into the universe. So I assume like if they're going to do Guardians 3, it's going to be them finding the past Gamora to join them again, maybe.
I mean, she wasn't on the ship at the end, and I would kind of, I think time travel's done. I don't think.
No. That's what I know, but because Gamora's still Gamora's in 2023 though.
I don't think she is. No, I think she probably got dusted. Because she was technically part of like Thanos' crew, and I doubt Tony knew about like her updated, change to the side of the good guys. So he probably killed her with the snap. Because she was technically like part of Thanos' army until she like changed her mind at the end or whatever.
Anything else you wanted to mention on your list?
Yes, I wrote Cap is a piece of shit. in my notes.
Is this the relation? How you just?
My absolute least favorite part of the film is Cap going back to the 1940s.
I said it.
Matthew predicted this, and I'm so sad because Captain America is my favorite MCU hero, and this means there's going to be no Captain America 4 because they got to about like 10 minutes before the end of the film, and I was like, oh, Cap's still alive, Cap's still Cap. They can do Captain America 4, and then they did that, and I wanted to scream.
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't know how far into the movie we were, so when they were like sending Cap to go put back the Infinity Stones, I were like, there could be half an hour left and he does this or something. But
yeah, okay, so Cap is a terrible person. He knows for a fact that Peggy Carter married someone else, and he's ruined her marriage. If you haven't seen Agent Carter, this film means that Agent Carter didn't happen then, because I assume he returned to the moment that he went on the ice, like I assume because like
or just before.
Well, like because like he.
Afterwards.
Yeah, just after. Like he can't exist in a world where there's another Captain America. So I assume he went back to like just like the point right after he went on the ice. So he's just ruined. So like
no, but
Agent Carter season 1 and 2 didn't happen. She didn't meet Daniel Souza. She didn't marry him. They didn't have their kids. He's just ruined a life.
So if Cap goes back to 1945 and lives out his life, does that mean by 2012 there will be an old Cap in the universe and a modern Cap?
that means like as the Winter Soldier was happening in this new version of the universe, like there was also an elderly Cap.
So essentially, when our Cap goes to visit an old Peggy Winter Soldier,
she's lived her life with
him
now.
So when Winter Soldier didn't happen in a way.
I mean, it happened, but differently now because instead of marrying Daniel Souza, well, that's like speculation based on what happens in Agent Carter. She now married Cap.
Right.
So
I love that.
I hate this.
Although, like, I like the way the movie does opt for the final scene to be a dance between Peggy. I love that personally.
Well,
I thought it was Scott Lang's house. I was like, that looks remarkably familiar.
That is such a weird way to end a film, though. Like with that being the last scene. Like I
understand.
Like, weird opening, weird ending.
Does it not sadden you that like we're never gonna see him again now?
Yes, of course. I'm so depressed.
Like when you think, like that's it. That's it. Like it's sad.
And that's so bad.
Like we're never gonna see Thor again. Let's be honest.
He might be in Guardians 3.
Yeah, but let's be honest.
That's probably not happening.
Iron Man, we're never going to see him again, right?
We're
never going to see Black Widow again in her...
Are you starting to see why I hate this film?
We're never going to see Cap again. We're never going to see Hulk again, basically, because his
arms
arm's wrecked and he's Professor Hulk.
Yeah, but...
We're never going to see Cap again. Unless they do a prequel, but I don't know. I really liked I couldn't tell if that was Chris Evans as an old man.
Oh no, it was 100% Chris Evans.
But then
could you not tell that?
The makeup looks fantastic.
Oh, it's not makeup. CGI.
You think CGI?
Yeah, they did the same with Agent Carter in 2014. You know, in Winter Soldier, when they aged her up. But it was very weird because they didn't change his voice, so he just had like 30-something-year-old Chris Evans voice, like coming out of like an 80-year-old man.
Did you suspect that when he's gonna go back here, he's not coming back, or did you think?
No, like when he went back.
Like at the return, there's just a tombstone, like Steve
Rogers
or
like a Captain America statue or something. Like that would have been way better than just like, I don't think I'm gonna tell you about my wife. Like I was like, what are you doing?
That was like that, yeah. How do you feel that Cap chose Falcon over or over Bucky?
Well,
do you think that was in character?
No, it definitely wasn't, because I mean, I don't think whatsoever, because Bucky's your best friend. I mean, Bucky has like multiple personas that you can choose from, so he doesn't need to be Captain America. But I think if Captain America was going to choose between the two, he would have chosen Bucky. Like he seems.
I think he knows.
He seems uncharacteristic.
I don't know. I'm happy with Falcon either way. I like Anthony Mackie. What was up with Anthony Mackie's beard? It seemed like it happened halfway down his face. Or something.
No, it was so like
strange.
Yeah, a full chin strap, but also like it went like it covered his cheeks as well.
It's so strange.
Yeah. So what did you think of Valkyrie as the new Queen of Asgard?
Loved it. I think that's a fantastic idea.
I think I think that's a fairly good idea.
Can we go back to the Cap thing?
Sure.
Would you like to see?
I don't want to.
Would you like to see how Cap went back and placed it?
No, I don't care.
Are you done with that now? Yeah.
Well, they've just ruined Captain America for me, and that is the biggest sin that they could have done. I love Captain America so much, and they've ruined my favorite character in like most of cinema, and I cannot forgive that.
What films are affected by this event?
All of them.
Thor: The Dark World.
Thor: The Dark World, I mean,
Avengers. Most likely Age of Ultron.
Infinity War.
No, probably not Age of Ultron.
No, Infinity War. Winter Soldier. Winter Soldier is probably the biggest affected one. Because
the Hydra agents know. Hydra agents are good, I think, Cap. I'd love to see an alternate, like, Winter Soldier, like, part 2.
But now it has, like, a weird elderly Cap in it, like, sitting beside Peggy.
And then the Hydra agents think Cap's a Hydra agent. Then what you could do They might do that. Like, if they could do Secret Empire Cap. Like, that'd be amazing. That'd be class.
It would be so bad. I'm so sad. And I don't think I'm ever going to feel better about this film because of what they did to Captain America.
I loved it so much. I can't believe we have so...
But now they've ruined Winter Soldier, because now when I go back and watch that as my favourite film in the MCU, I'm going to go, okay, I mean, now this doesn't matter.
You're just going to have to switch your mind off for Winter Soldier, I suppose.
I can't do that, because like this felt like a weird fan film, or like an Elseworld story, you know, a Marvel what if. Like, what if Captain America went back to the 40s, but like it feels like something that shouldn't happen in the actual continuity. Like it feels like a fan fiction.
Valkyrie is Queen of Asgard.
Well, we know. I mean, Tessa Thompson's delightful.
That's fantastic. Korg and Meek as well, fantastic.
Yeah, so I hope we do see more of her. I don't see how we could though, because if there's gonna be, I mean, Taika Waititi said that he pitched Thor 4. But it kind of seems like Thor's just going to be part of the Guardians.
Yeah.
So I don't see how you could do a Thor.
I think a Tessa Thompson Thor would be great.
But I mean, even if she's Queen of Asgard, she's not Thor. You know, maybe if they did like a Thor on like a different, you know, if they called it just like the New Asgardians or something, and it was a Tessa Thompson led, you know, Asgard film.
I think Tessa Thompson's got enough star power.
I mean, her accent's terrible
to lead a film though, because she's in Men in Black International.
You know, I'm a stickler for accents, and hers is not good.
Where is she from? America.
She's American, yeah.
Anything else on your list?
Well, what do you think of Thor as a Guardian? Do you like the idea of that going forward?
I like the pun, like, as Guardians of the Guy. I think it's quite good. I think Thor. It just is so strange to me how he's evolved from this serious, intelligent, like Asgardian warrior to now a joke.
He's just a fat dumb guy.
But I like that though.
I don't like that.
I think it's funny.
I mean, but like I said, you know, he's gone from making jokes to being the joke. I don't like that whatsoever.
I mean, I think they had to do something to spice the Guardians of the Galaxy up, to be honest, because
I suppose
there's only so much like Drax jokes you can do.
They're kind of lacking in female power now, because like I'm pretty sure Nebula died and then Gamora's gone, so it's just Mantis.
I'd love to see a Mantis TV show.
Yeah, Mantis.
Mantis
and
really Ego or something. That'd be good.
Yeah, I suppose. So do you want to talk about the MCU's in 2023 now?
Yeah, the implications for that. I mean, Far From Home. If that's in 2023.
I can't imagine how Far From Home could take place in this universe.
So do you think it's an alternate reality or something?
No, I mean, I'm sure it does. It's just it's not going to make sense to me. I'm going to be like, right. I mean, you were dead for 5 years, and you know, if all of his supporting cast are still like 17, that doesn't make sense.
So Ned should be 20.
Well,
something
I mean, you know, maybe Peter and Ned were both snapped,
but
and then they returned. But like, yeah, everyone, like, if you know, Michelle and Flash and Betty Brant, you know, are all returning and they're all the same age, I'm gonna be like, what? I mean, at least some of you should have aged 5 years.
The only way I think they do it if they say, you know,
there's no way to do it well. Like it makes no sense, and it will never make sense to me. I mean,
I think the MC can pull it off.
I don't think it can, because their timelines are already a mess. Well, not a mess, but you know, there are continuity issues. But I mean, I'm kind of worried about how this is going to hit the TV series as well, because you know, I watch all of them and they reference the movies and the movies don't reference them. But I don't see how they could just casually slip in the fact that like half of them died and then returned in 2023. Like, I doubt Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 6 is going to say, like, it's 2023 now, some of the characters have aged 5 years. Like, that seems, you know, like it's not going to happen whatsoever.
I suppose.
And, people seemed way too cool returning to this future. Like, they kind of seemed like...
What the characters? Or?
Yeah, they seemed, like, really, like, nonchalant about it, you know, like... like Peter and Ned just doing their like sad high five.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, what are you doing?
I think it's gonna be like, the Avengers don't know that Cap's an old man now, do they? Like, the only ones that know are.
Well, I mean, they'll probably tell people. Like, they'll probably say to Peter, like, hey, you know.
Do you think they'll
Cap's
kill? Do you think
old?
Do you think they'd have Chris Evans return as a cameo, or do you think they'll say like he died of old age between movies or something?
I don't know, Matthew.
I don't know.
I don't care anymore. This honestly might have ended my love for the MCU. It's that bad.
Really?
It's so bad in my opinion. You know, individual scenes great, but when you watch it as a whole, I'm just like, I don't know if I can be okay with this. Is your mum already here? Oh my god.
5 minutes.
20 minutes over.
Concluding thoughts.
Concluding thoughts. 20 minutes over.
Concluding thoughts.
Concluding thoughts. I mean, those are all my thoughts. You know, I've kind of exhausted every point.
Favorite scene, least favorite scene.
Right. Favorite scene. Professor Hulk introduction.
Yeah.
Bruce. Least favorite.
Can I change that to the channel banner, please?
No. Least favorite is Cap going back to the 40s.
My favorite, I Am Iron Man, tied with Cap going back to the 40s. Least favorite, probably any scene with Nebula.
Least favorite, yeah, fair enough. My also like one of my favorites is obviously the Johnny Favs scene.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that did hit me hard for whatever reason. I think it's just because I love Chef. I just heard Jon Favreau mention food and I was like, you're a genius.
By the way, no end credit scene, which is surprising, but I can forgive it.
We left because we knew there wasn't an end credit scene, but I did look up and apparently there was, quote, the noise of clanking. Like, I was just like, I'm not staying for that, I don't care.
Concluding thoughts for me, 10 out of 10, masterpiece, favorite superhero film ever.
Yeah.
For me, I loved it so much.
I don't even know if I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10. I'll say 5 out of 10 tentatively, but it's probably going to go down.
Yeah. Well, Callum and I would like to thank you very much for listening. We had a great time recording this. And
we're no longer on SoundCloud. I don't think.
No, we've expired our 3 hour limit.
Yeah.
So we'll still be on YouTube, obviously, you know, because we need that sweet